Welcome to Pivoting to Web3 podcast, where experts break down AI, blockchain, and tech shaping our future. I'm Donna, and today's guest has insights you won't want to miss. Let's dive in. Welcome to Pivoting to Web3, and today we have Oscar Vasquez. And Oscar, I'm excited to have because he's in a space that I haven't had on the show yet. Oscar Vasquez is in the estate planning space and he's also in the real estate. And he's got a lot going on with AI and how he uses it in a lot of his businesses. So, with that said, I'd like to introduce you to Oscar Vasquez. Oscar, say
Do-
hello to your audience and ours. Go ahead, jump on in there.
Yeah, thank you, Donna. Thank you. I'm excited to bring a ton of value to your audience and to yourself, and hopefully, you guys will be as intrigued as I am with the artificial intelligence that's and where it's going, and more importantly, give you an opportunity to tell you just a little bit about estate planning.
Well, before we get into anything else, I really wanted the audience to understand first what you're doing with the estate planning. That's what really attracted me to you when I saw that you were interested in coming on to Pivoting to Web3 podcast. I found a lot of value in that because I had gone through quite a bit of that whole probate piece and trust and adult planning, estate planning, asset planning, management. And I wanted you to share what you could with the audience that they need to be aware of with the estate planning and then what you're doing with AI.
Okay, perfect. I'll give you a brief. I'll give you a brief. I'm going to give you the biggest 3 points. Is one is that every if you Google how much or what's the amount of assets that is allowed for me that is allowed in my state. For example, if you type in what's the maximum amount allowed so I can avoid probate in California, the number will come up at 184,000. In Colorado, it'll be 60,000. And in Utah, it'll be 100,000. And the reason why I say that is because if you're a homeowner, you're already on a plan. The government has a plan for you, and the plan is simple. The plan is the plan is if you do not have a plan, then you're going to have to pay the government to decide on what happens to your things when you die. That's the plan that we're already on. If you don't get an estate plan, if you have an estate plan, if you have an estate plan, then you decide on what happens. Now, that's the first biggest nugget that I can tell you that if you don't know, now you know. And now the second thing is you're going to have to pay the government. In California, the starting price for going to probate is $26,000. I've seen it as high as $180,000 depending on the number of assets. So one, you don't decide. Two, you're going to have to pay the government to decide on what happens to your assets. And the third is that your kids and heirs can and will have debates, and you want to avoid that. So, living trust does all of those things for you. But more importantly, what I want to do is I'll tell you, and one of the things that we do is we have what's called a we have one how we use it, and it's the most exciting part of our estate planning. We don't use estate planning for we don't use AI for writing the documents because every state has a legal provision that has to be on there. So we don't use artificial intelligence. We used an actual human estate attorneys in each state to be able to update the documents on a yearly basis. We do use AI for a receptionist, a 24-hour receptionist to answer any questions. And I'll give you that number if you guys want to try it out. And if not, if I can, Donna, I'd love to be able to do a demo call and you guys could hear it on here.
Yeah, let's do the demo call.
All right, let
My
me let
audience
me
likes that. So go
all
ahead,
right.
go for it.
Thank you for calling Estate Dog Prep. This is Whitney. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
Yeah, my name is Oscar. I wanted to get more information about estate planning. Can you tell me the 3 reasons why I needed to get estate planning?
Hi, Oscar. I'm happy to help you with that. Estate planning is essential for several reasons, but here are 3 key ones. One, protecting your assets. Like, estate planning helps ensure that your assets, such as your home and savings, are distributed according to your wishes after you pass away. This can
Okay.
prevent disputes.
All right. Let me ask. Let's do something fun. Can you if I were to give you, can you give me a rhyme? Can you rhyme?
Clarify what you would like to ask. I'm
Yes.
here to help.
Yeah, let me see if you could do something. I'm gonna see if I can. Can you give me a rhyme or a rap on why I should join or listen to the Web3 podcast? Can you rhyme a short phrase on why I should join or listen to the Web3 podcast? Can you do that?
Sure. Here's a little rhyme for you. Join the Web3 pod. It's the place to be. Unlocking the future. Come and see. With insights and trends, you'll stay ahead. In the world of tech, it's where you'll be led. Hope you like it. If you have any more questions about estate planning or anything else, feel free to ask.
Okay. Are you a robot?
I'm an AI designed to assist you with your questions and provide information. While I'm not a robot in the physical sense.
Yeah, ask her for the 3 questions you were going to ask her.
Okay, go ahead and ask. Go ahead and tell me the 3 things that why I need AI. Well, let me ask you this. Let me why. What are the 3 reasons in as briefly as you can? Tell me what are the 3 things that why I need a living trust in my life.
Absolutely, Oscar. Here are 3 key reasons why you might need a living trust. 1, avoiding probate. A living trust allows your assets to pass directly to your beneficiaries without going through the lengthy and costly probate process. 2, privacy protection. Unlike a will, a living trust is not public record, so your estate details remain private and confidential. 3, control over asset distribution. A living trust lets you specify how and when your assets are distributed, ensuring your wishes are followed even if you become incapacitated. If you have any more questions or need further information, feel free to ask.
What do you guys charge for an AI? I mean, what do you guys charge for a living trust?
At Estate Doc Prep, our pricing for a living trust can vary based on the specific services and documents you need. We offer comprehensive packages that typically start at a competitive rate to ensure you receive the best value for your estate planning needs. If you're interested, I can connect you with one of our estate planning coordinators who can provide you with detailed pricing information and help tailor a plan that fits your situation.
Yeah, let me ask you. One more thing, just out of curiosity. What is what's an exotic bird? What's the most exotic bird in the world?
One of the most exotic birds in the world is the harpy eagle mee. Known for its striking appearance, it has a large size, powerful talons, and a distinctive crest of feathers on its head. Another contender is the resplendent quetzal.
There you go. I mean, you can literally have a conversation with that artificial intelligence. We use it. We use it for our incoming call. We call it the no pressure test, no pressure conversation consultation with artificial intelligence about estate planning. No pressure, right?
Wow.
He gives information. We're here to educate. We're here to give you all the information that you need to be able to protect your assets. And look, that's just one of many ways on how we use artificial intelligence in our business. That's helped us scale. Right now, she takes on about 25 to 30 calls a day. And some of those calls are like at 1 a.m, right? I mean, because I say it's 24 hours a day to get the free information on estate planning, to be able to make that on there. And she does a good job because she just says, hey, here's the information. If you want to move forward, we'll schedule a call with a estate planning coordinator, because that's what we are. We are a software company that is used throughout the United States to be able to protect your assets to avoid probate.
Wow. I mean, that really blew my mind quite a bit because she knew everything. I'm curious. When you is that like a chat bot or like an
No,
agent or what
I'm
exactly
gonna give
is
you.
it?
I'm gonna give you the
Before
difference.
Yes,
I'm
please.
gonna give you the difference. Okay, a chat bot A chatbot has programmed responses. This is how you know if it's artificial intelligence. A chatbot has programmed responses. If they say Y, you say X. If they say A, you say B, right? An artificial intelligence, you can ask it anything about any topic, and it already builds up a bank. What we do is we program voice AI agents for small services. What we do that's another, like I said, it's in the beginning. This is one estate planning. The software company is one of 11 things that I do, and real estate is my passion. So we still sell real estate. So the artificial intelligence, you program it based. It's called the knowledge base, and you put in all the knowledge base about this topic, and then you can we can have it. I mean, that is a sample. That is a sample of artificial. It's a sample phone call that we use for estate planning. But you can have it program it where it says, "Don't answer anything without this parameter." I have it open because we use it. I have it open because I use it as a sample for our agency that sells the voice AI. And I have them call it and be able to do that. So it's programmable, and it has parameters, and it'll do live transfers. In our real estate, we have real estate investors that use it for telemarketing. And we have life insurance agents that use it to have a conversation and take an application. I mean, or get a call transfer. They ask 3-4 questions, and then they transfer the call to a call center. It's now becoming more efficient in the sense of it can book calls, it can transfer, it can have a detailed application. For an attorney firm, it takes a complete incident report intake form that takes about an hour and a half to be able to do that. So it'll sit there and ask you every question, and then it'll go deeper into the question. For example, if you had an accident on the corner of 5th and Main, they're going to say, did you notice any cameras? Did you notice any cars? What was how did you get anybody's names and phone numbers?
Mm-hmm.
And you get those for me. And it'll just start digging deep into the conversation to get as a detailed report. Then it takes that voice recording, and then we program it into ChatGPT, and then it transcribes it. So now the attorney has a full transcribable conversation that was done with the client, that they don't have to have a human do it. Now, this is where the world is going. That's kind of that was a very expensive AI to entail, and it took us probably 6 months to a year to complete it. But technology is getting easier.
So let me ask you a quick question. So at the end of the day, my first question is, so basically you built the GPT for that service?
No, we took the voice AI,
Mm-hmm.
and we integrated a GPT to be able to transcribe the audio, so then that way we can, because it's faster to read the script than it is to listen to the whole call. So what we do is we have a ChatGPT we use. It's called an interface that takes the audio recording, and then it transcribes it, so we can go back and find the key points. Because if they're asking hey, what's a dog, what's a bird, all that, that call is not a lead. It's just somebody that's curious. So we eliminate. So if they use key questions like what does it cost, what does a living trust cost, then another AI does a follow up through text message and or through voice.
So for those that are listening and they're new in the AI world, they got a lot of confusion. They're not sure what to do, when to do it. First, what businesses do you sell your services to? You mentioned there were other.
We have over 35 different industries that we service. So in our AI marketing agency. So we got it from plumbers to housekeepers to therapists, you name it, it's helping. Because here's the thing that we when people when they how they find us is we always say, look, we're not trying to replace, we trying to become efficient. What is the task? We're not, you can't really replace a human today, right? But you could have a human become more efficient. Because if you have a receptionist, like the one, it'll be able to book calls, transfer calls, pre-qualify customers, and answer any detailed conversations about your business specifically. So the only business that it can't help is if you have to do it in person, because the AI lives in the computer. So
Okay.
if it's a personal interaction, like it can't take blood, but it can answer a whole bunch of medical questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll answer. It'll take data from from a database and reference it and be able to have that conversation with a client and be able to reference it. So it'll be from customer service to sales calls to interaction, any kind of interaction that can be done through the computer. Now there's supposed to be um the software is coming out with now that it's going to be able to have a conversation on Zoom now. So it'll actually do Zoom conversations here in the next 30 to 60 days. You'll have Zoom conversations where they're going to be able to be talking with an AI and have a conversation with an AI on
So is
Zoom.
is that going to be similar to, like, there's some avatars that you can place on Zoom and it's not really the person there with Zoom?
Yeah,
It's pretty similar to that. Let me
it's
ask
gonna
you
be.
this. I'm sure somebody in the audience is interested in knowing, what size companies do you work with? Can it be a solopreneur, brand, nonprofit, major corporation, enterprise? Do you have a particular
You know,
um
we have all sorts of levels. I mean, we have services where it starts at $75 a month. I mean, we're starting to go into Mexico just because it's starting to do so well in Spanish, right? And technology there is there. So we work with anybody and everybody to as far as the agency is concerned, we discriminate equally. I always say, I discriminate equally. We take everybody's money, but no, I mean, look at, like, we've helped the sole plumber have now 7 trucks because of the efficiency of I mean, the number one reason is they connected to Google My Business. And then, people call all sorts of time instead of getting a receptionist or a call
mhm.
back, a no call. The AI picks up and books the appointment, says the plumber will be there in the next 30 minutes. She just starts blowing up the plumber to wake him up to get him over there, right? And starts setting up time. So it could be done. I say this, that the limitations of artificial intelligence, voice artificial intelligence, is limited to one's imagination and one's ability to pay for it. Because, like, the attorneys paid for to take an intake form, I think to do that one intake form, they paid, it was something like $55,000, but their average employee was getting 65,000. So it, and that AI intake form, that AI intake by telephone was taking in 3 to 5 times more intake forms per day and was almost 85% accurate.
So this is a fabulous way to scale your business.
Yeah,
It's definitely a way to minimize your costs, increase your revenue, be more productive, be more efficient, and really utilize the time proficiently from a customer service standpoint as well. It sounds like a phenomenal
you
voice technology that you're
if
using.
if I were to say who is the person can benefit the most, it's the small solopreneur, the small guy that is a worker but doesn't have a lot of resources. And because the AI will take look, I also own laundromats, and our AI service for the laundromat, it helped us scale. Now we have an AI that handles dispatching, right? And it helped us scale it because the AI don't take breaks. You only pay when it's on the phone. So you're not paying for somebody to stand there and watch the phone. You're only paying a cost per minute. So when it's having a conversation, it in other words, when she's selling, you're paying, but she's also making you money, and it's giving you your time. So, and I say that the solo entrepreneur, the small guy, or the big guys do too, right? But the big guys, they want a lot more fancier and stuff, and I don't think that it's economically feasible a lot for the bigger guys, because they have, what are they going to do when they have a call center with 150 people and they're paying rent on a 20,000 square foot? They can't eliminate that. They got a 10-year lease. They can't eliminate that. They're not going to, and they're not going to repurpose it because it doesn't work for them. I haven't landed a big client for a call center or anything like that, but a lot of the people that I see benefit quite often and help scale are the small business entrepreneurs, the small business investors, and in that sense.
So about how much time will it take for somebody contacts you, they're interested in what you're doing? What is the length of time for that to come into realization?
It depends on what you wanted to do. Like if you wanted to cold call for real estate and find real estate investments, we can do that in 24 to 48 hours. It's I mean, that's you could probably set up an AI agent that can cold call. I mean, that's not, you shouldn't cold call, but if you wanted to, I'll give you another example. The highest and best use for ROI on an AI voice agent is where you advertise on Facebook and the lead comes in, and then the AI calls it like almost immediately. Like like a minute,
Yeah.
like 30 seconds to a minute. Because when people submit a form, they want to call. And so the AI calls them, right? And it pre-qualifies them. And now what that does is that if that makes you more efficient, because now you're only talking to qualify, you're not talking to tire kickers. You're saying, hey, how much do you want to sell your house? Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to buy? What are your qualifications? What have you done for so far? So that's where I would see the highest and running Facebook ads is also something that we've done in the past for some clients, but we could do a setup, and then you just set it and forget it, and then it becomes an automatic machine where you're just dealing with customers. I mean, I've had 2 customers last week and said, turn it off. I mean, I need to catch up. What a problem.
So what do you see to be a concern that raises your eyebrows and you worry about? What have you seen in that world of artificial intelligence, be it voice,
Uh,
chatbot? What concerns you that it's even here right now and what it's doing or not doing?
yeah, I tell you, what concerns me is that the abilities to clone the voices are getting better. Where it's getting better. I mean, last year there was a big enough delay to identify that it was a computer. Today, they're coming out with technology um that you can clone your voice and it sounds just like you. And that to me scares me. It scares
Yeah,
me.
I don't deal with it. When they asked, at the bank, would you like us to record your voice and this, that, and the
Hell
other? I'm
no.
like, heck no.
Yeah, no.
Last year I said no. It was like, no, 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 no. So somebody could just,
No.
have my voice? No.
No.
At least not for banking. My voice is already out there, but
Yeah, but that to me is because in Mexico, about 8 9 years ago, it was very different because there was a lot of kidnapping and holding people for ransom, and that was something and I think maybe that's what gives me the most fear that it gets into the wrong hands, that can be. I mean, it's all positive, but man, that's a deep question. But that's what gives me the fear that can happen. Um,
So is there any governance? Is anybody looking at any is this still the wild, wild west? Seems like everything right now is the wild, wild west. What you
you
think?
know, right now, I think right now our country is the richer want to get richer, and they're just finding a way. I think right now the way things are going, they're more focused on taking away our currency and making it all digital, so we don't have any cash. But I don't know. I don't know where it's going, but that's what the biggest fear is, I think, for me.
Do you have anything on your wish list that you'd like to see?
Yeah, I mean,
Or a
on
tr-
there, no, you
or
know
a
what?
tr- or a trend that's coming that we may not see, but you do because you're in the arena?
You know, I tell you, I think that the virtual assistant business is going to be out of business here in probably the next 3 to 4 years, because artificial intelligence is going to take it. I mean, I still have virtual assistants because artificial intelligence isn't there yet. There's still virtual assistants. I think that the trend is that if you don't have AI, it's going to be difficult to catch up to your competitors that have AI. I think that's a scary thing to say, but I really truly see that. I mean, um, I'm selling, 3, 4 homes a year, and I would say that artificial intelligence is getting people to the Zoom calls, to the Zoom meetings, is booking calls now for me. It's booking showings, it's booking. I mean, I mean, all I need is for them to go open the house, you know, when I'm showing the house. I mean, it's and Elon Musk says we should see that in the next 12 to 18 months. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, I think that's a trend. If there's anything that I can leave the audience with, that would be a nugget, would be if you don't implement AI, be prepared to pivot into whatever other industries that are out there that don't require it. Like, I don't think AI is going to affect. I think it's going to affect the plumbing business, but the people that use AI to follow up and have customer service and do that, it's going to. I don't think it's going to do the plumbers, electricians, and any of the home services like the window washers and all those guys. I mean, I have window washers that are doing 25, 30 homes a day at 200, $300. I mean, they're just so busy. That's one of those industries that's not going to take over, but I think that the receptionist and the bill collector and the billing services, and they're going to have AI talking to AI. I don't know. Well, I don't know. We'll see, but the last year's been an interesting ride.
So is there anything that I didn't ask that you'd like to share with the audience? How do they reach you? What?
Yeah, I'll give out my number if somebody has interest in AI. I'll give you my personal number, and we can chit chat a little bit about it. 805-290-6044. And we're at the company that the agency is Dynamic AI Connections. But you can call me directly and we'll work something out. I'll give you a free consultation. I'll ask you how you could use it, and we'll see how you can benefit and give you something that's a fair price.
Are you on LinkedIn?
I am, but I have virtual assistants that do that. I don't. I'm mostly on the phone doing appointments and stuff like that.
That's a
But
wonderful place to be. That's the best place to be is on the phone talking to somebody.
yeah, so I'm either on podcast talking to somebody or um trying to figure out. I'm working more on the business than in the business. One thing I still do is do the real estate because I have a passion for it, right? But we also do every once in a while. I do the estate planning coordinator calls sometimes. And I'm trying to scale that up. I'm trying to still have that human touch on there.
So
But
those in the real estate business, you mentioned that, and that's your passion. Where do you see that really going with the AI?
I see that, you know what? If you're running ads and you're not having, it's a 3%. We're still 3% conversion. So you can either call 100 leads yourself and take 8 hours of the day, or use the AI and talk to three people every 100 leads that qualify and ready, willing, and able. That's it. I mean, I'm still selling 30 homes a year, and I run, 5 different businesses in 5 different industries. So, and I only do that because of artificial intelligence and the scalability. We still have a human element to a lot of it, but I don't do that. I mean, they're not $100 million businesses, but it's enough so I'm not cold at night and I'm not hungry.
It looks like you're doing pretty good, and I'm glad that I have you here on Pivoting to Web3 podcast. There's a lot of fabulous information that you have shared about the future that's here today, how to scale, how to implement what you're doing, and I think it's fabulous. So we're going to have you back. So everyone, thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and we're shaping tomorrow together. And thank you for listening to Pivoting to Web3 podcast. Thank you, Oscar. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for tuning in to Pivoting to Web3 podcast. If you're a developer, innovator, or AI expert with insights to share, or if you're looking to partner, let's connect. Visit MitchellUniversalNetwork.com and be part of the conversation. Want more content? Check out my playlist for more episodes. See you next time.